Why narcissists are still emotionally connected to their exes. Have you ever wondered why some narcissists seem unable to truly let go of their exes, even long after a breakup? Perhaps you've experienced it firsthand. A text from them out of the blue, a lingering social media follow, or their casual mentions of you to mutual friends. It's as though they can't entirely move on, no matter how much time has passed. Today, we're diving into the heart of this puzzling behavior, peeling back the layers to understand why narcissists remain emotionally entangled with their exes. Stick with me until the end, because the reasons behind this phenomenon may surprise you, and what we uncover might offer a new perspective on how to handle this unique dynamic. Before we jump in, take a moment to subscribe to this channel if you enjoy in-depth discussions about narcissistic relationships and psychology. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who might find clarity in this conversation. Now let's unravel the emotional complexities behind why narcissists are still connected to their exes. Narcissists approach relationships in a way that is fundamentally different from how most people experience them. While others may view relationships as opportunities for mutual growth, emotional connection, and shared experiences, narcissists see them through a lens of utility and control. For them, relationships are not about partnership or reciprocity, but about what they can gain to fuel their insatiable need for validation. From the very beginning, they identify their partner as a source of what's often referred to as narcissistic supply. This supply encompasses admiration, attention, and praise, the external reinforcement they need to maintain their inflated sense of self-worth. Without this steady flow of validation, their fragile ego begins to crumble. Even when the relationship ends, this need for supply doesn't vanish. If anything, it becomes more pronounced as they face the looming threat of losing control over someone they once dominated. Unlike most people, who view breakups as a time of reflection, healing, and emotional growth, narcissists experience them in a profoundly different way. For them, a breakup is not just an emotional challenge, it is a direct affront to their ego. Losing a partner means losing a significant source of supply, which leaves their sense of superiority shaken. It's not just the absence of the person that bothers them, it's the loss of control and the perception that they no longer dictate the narrative of the relationship. Breakups force narcissists to confront the uncomfortable reality that they might not be as powerful, desired, or irreplaceable as they believe themselves to be. This is why, even after a breakup, they often linger in their ex-partner's life, refusing to fully let go. They don't maintain contact out of love, nostalgia, or genuine connection. Instead, their actions are driven by a desperate need to preserve a sense of dominance and influence. One of the reasons narcissists struggle to sever ties completely is their inability to accept failure, rejection, or any form of perceived defeat. They see relationships as arenas in which they must emerge victorious, maintaining control over their partner at all times. When the dynamic shifts, whether through a breakup or the partner asserting independence, the narcissist interprets this as a challenge to their authority. To regain their footing, they often attempt to keep one foot in the door of their past relationships, subtly or overtly inserting themselves back into their ex's life. This might manifest as sudden calls, messages, or even surprise appearances under the guise of concern, friendship, or unfinished business. However, their true motive is rarely about rekindling an authentic connection. Instead, these efforts are calculated moves to re-establish power over a familiar target. Consider how narcissists often return to their exes during times of personal struggle. If their current source of supply, whether it's a new partner, a work situation, or another external validation, begins to falter, they look to past relationships for relief. Returning to an ex provides a sense of familiarity and a shortcut to regaining control without having to establish a new dynamic from scratch. It's not about love or unresolved feelings. It's about reasserting their dominance and soothing their ego. By targeting an ex, they aim to restore a sense of superiority, ensuring they remain the one who holds power in the dynamic. The ex becomes a fallback option, a convenient way for the narcissist to avoid facing their own inadequacies or the discomfort of feeling irrelevant. Even the emotional connection narcissists claim to feel toward their exes is often rooted in a distorted and selective memory of the relationship. They don't recall the partnership in its entirety or with any true objectivity. Instead, they focus on the moments when they felt admired, celebrated, or in control. They romanticize these highlights, painting an idealized picture of the relationship that conveniently omits the harm they caused, the manipulation they engaged in, or the pain they inflicted. This selective nostalgia enables them to reach out to their ex under the pretense of revisiting good times, but their true intentions are far more calculated. Their outreach is a tactical move designed to regain influence, reaffirm their power, and reinforce their self-image as someone who is still desired and admired. When a narcissist reaches out, it's rarely a genuine attempt to make amends or rebuild a healthy connection. Their primary goal is to restore their dominance and ensure that they remain a significant figure in their ex-partner's life. They may use charm, flattery, or even false apologies to lower their ex's defenses, all while keeping their true agenda hidden. This behavior underscores their inability to move on in a healthy way. While most people view breakups as opportunities for growth and self-discovery, narcissists approach them as battles for control, refusing to let go until they feel they've reasserted their superiority. Narcissists struggle immensely with the idea of their exes moving on, and this difficulty is deeply rooted in their profound fear of abandonment. Beneath their exterior of confidence and self-assurance lies an individual riddled with insecurity and vulnerability. At their core, narcissists are consumed by the fear of being forgotten, replaced, or rendered irrelevant. This underlying anxiety compels them to cling to their past partners, even after the relationship has ended. The thought of an ex thriving, especially in a new relationship, strikes at the heart of their fragile ego. It represents more than just a loss. It's a personal affront that magnifies their greatest fears. This is why they go to great lengths to remain tethered to their exes, whether through overt sabotage, subtle interference, or calculated manipulation. Seeing an ex move forward without them feels like a rejection of their importance and a blow to the image of superiority they desperately seek to uphold. This fear of abandonment doesn't just manifest as a reaction to their ex moving on. It drives much of their behavior during and after the relationship. Narcissists often perceive themselves as the central figure in their partner's life, and the loss of this role leaves them feeling destabilized. For this reason, they might attempt to sabotage an ex's new relationship, whether through overt interference, such as spreading rumors or creating conflict, or more subtle methods, like planting seeds of doubt. Even after the relationship has officially ended, their actions are often geared toward maintaining a sense of control. By inserting themselves into their ex's life, they ensure that their presence remains an inescapable factor, keeping their ex emotionally tethered to them. Another layer of complexity lies in how narcissists use their past relationships to manipulate their current partners. This tactic, known as triangulation, serves as a powerful tool to keep their new partner on edge. By mentioning an ex in passing, whether to praise or criticize them, the narcissist creates a sense of insecurity and competition within the new relationship. Idealizing an ex might make the current partner feel inadequate or strive harder to earn the narcissist's approval. On the other hand, vilifying an ex can foster loyalty and sympathy, ensuring the new partner stays aligned with the narcissist. Either way, the ex becomes a pawn in the narcissist's ongoing game of manipulation, used not only to maintain influence over past relationships, but also to control the dynamics of their current ones. Social media provides an additional avenue for narcissists to maintain their connection to exes. While a simple like on an old photo or a comment on a shared memory might seem harmless, these gestures are often far from innocent. They are carefully calculated moves designed to keep the narcissist present in their ex's mind. These seemingly insignificant interactions serve as reminders of their existence, a way to assert subtle control without making direct contact. To the narcissist, even the smallest form of engagement holds significance, as it reinforces their belief that they remain a central figure in the lives of those they left behind. This digital lingering allows them to assert a form of dominance that ensures they are never entirely forgotten. A critical aspect of the narcissist's post-breakup behavior is their tendency to avoid closure. Unlike most people who strive for a clean break to move forward, narcissists thrive on ambiguity and unresolved emotions. Leaving a relationship with unanswered questions or lingering doubts isn't an accident. It's a deliberate choice designed to leave the door open for future interactions. By creating an atmosphere of unfinished business, they make it difficult for their exes to fully move on. This lack of closure becomes a tool for the narcissist to re-enter the picture whenever it suits their needs, keeping the connection alive and ensuring their ex remains within their sphere of influence. When an ex tries to set boundaries or cut off contact, the narcissist's response is often immediate and intense. Boundaries represent a loss of control, something narcissists cannot tolerate. They may react with anger, employing manipulative tactics such as guilt-tripping or playing the victim. In some cases, they might switch tactics entirely, presenting a sudden display of affection or offering a seemingly heartfelt apology. These actions are not motivated by genuine remorse or a desire to reconcile, but by their need to regain influence. Boundaries feel like a rejection of their power, and they will do whatever it takes to dismantle them, re-establishing their dominance in the process. This cycle of manipulation and control often continues long after the relationship has ended. Even years later, narcissists may resurface in their ex's life, unable or unwilling to let go of the connection. The root of this behavior lies in their inability to engage in self-reflection or personal growth. Most people use the experience of a breakup as an opportunity to evaluate their behavior, learn from their mistakes, and move forward as better versions of themselves. Narcissists, however, avoid introspection at all costs. To confront their own shortcomings would mean acknowledging their flaws and insecurities, something their fragile egos simply cannot handle. Instead, they project their unresolved emotions onto their exes, using them as scapegoats for their internal turmoil. This projection keeps the narcissist emotionally tethered, not out of genuine care or affection, but as a way to avoid addressing their inner wounds. For their exes, being the target of a narcissist's lingering attention can be an exhausting and confusing experience. Every interaction, no matter how seemingly innocent, is often designed to pull them back into the narcissist's orbit. A casual message might carry hidden motives. A dramatic plea could be a ploy for attention. Even a sincere-sounding apology may be calculated to lower their defenses. To the ex, it can feel like a never-ending cycle of emotional manipulation, where the narcissist's need for control takes precedence over their own well-being. Recognizing these patterns is the first step in breaking free, but doing so requires strength, clarity, and a firm commitment to setting and maintaining boundaries. The narcissist's actions are rarely as innocent as they appear, and understanding their true motives is key to regaining independence and moving forward. As we come to a close, it's essential to take a step back and truly understand that a narcissist's emotional connection to their exes is not rooted in love, care, or genuine attachment. What may seem on the surface like lingering feelings or emotional ties is, in reality, a manifestation of their deep-seated need for control, validation, and dominance. Narcissists struggle to let go of their past relationships because these connections serve a purpose for them that has little to do with mutual respect or affection. Their inability to release an ex is not about missing the person or cherishing shared memories. It's about maintaining a sense of power over someone they once viewed as an extension of themselves. If you've ever found yourself entangled in this dynamic, it's important to recognize that the narcissist's behavior is a reflection of their unresolved internal struggles and not an indication of your worth, value, or desirability. Their actions, whether they involve sabotaging your progress, attempting to reconnect, or refusing to provide closure, stem from their inability to confront their own insecurities and vulnerabilities. They hold on to these emotional ties not because of what you mean to them, but because of what you represent. A source of validation, a reminder of their influence, or an opportunity to reassert control. The way a narcissist clings to their past relationships is a testament to their struggle with their own identity and their fear of irrelevance. They see their exes not as independent individuals with their own lives, but as symbols of their own unresolved wounds. It's a pattern of behavior that reveals far more about them than it does about you. Understanding this dynamic can be empowering, as it allows you to see their actions for what they truly are: desperate attempts to fill a void they refuse to address within themselves. So, if you've been caught in this web, remind yourself that their inability to let go has nothing to do with you and everything to do with their own limitations. It's not your responsibility to carry the weight of their unresolved issues, or to interpret their behavior as a reflection of your value. Their actions are a byproduct of their own struggles, and freeing yourself from their grip starts with recognizing this truth and reclaiming your power. Remember, their behavior speaks volumes about them, not about your worth. You are not defined by their inability to move forward. Thank you for being part of this discussion and for seeking to understand these complex dynamics. If you found this conversation helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to support this channel. Your experiences and insights matter, so feel free to share them in the comments below. Together, we can create a space for healing and empowerment. The 4 realest reasons why the narcissist hates you. Have you ever found yourself questioning why a narcissist seems to target you with such intensity? Maybe you've been caught in their web of charm, only to suddenly feel rejected, belittled, or even despised for no apparent reason. The truth is, the dynamic between you and a narcissist is a complex and deeply unsettling one. What can seem like a love affair at first may quickly turn into a battlefield, where every move is scrutinized and every flaw magnified. You may be left wondering, why does the narcissist hate me? What did I do wrong? In today's discussion, we're going to unravel this mystery and explore the 4 realest reasons why a narcissist might harbor such animosity toward you. If you've ever found yourself baffled by their behavior, or if you've experienced the emotional roller coaster that comes with dealing with a narcissist, this video is for you. But stay with me until the end, because the truth about narcissism may be more insidious than you ever realized, and understanding these reasons will help you take back control of your emotional well-being. So, if you're ready to gain a deeper insight into the psyche of the narcissist and understand the hidden dynamics that drive their hatred, let's dive into this topic. Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on more in-depth discussions like this one. You're not alone in this journey, and by exploring these truths together, we can empower you to regain your emotional freedom. The relationship between a narcissist and their target is often defined by power dynamics and manipulation, and as difficult as it may be to understand, narcissists typically harbour a deep-seated hatred for those they once seemed to love or admire. But why? What drives this irrational and often cruel behaviour? Let's start by exploring the first reason. Number 1. Narcissists hate you because you challenge their superiority. Narcissists live in a constructed reality where they believe they are inherently superior to everyone around them. Their worldview is shaped by a fragile sense of self-worth, one that depends entirely on receiving validation and admiration from others. Without constant external affirmation, their self-esteem crumbles. This means that their entire sense of identity is precariously balanced on the approval of those they deem important or worthy of their attention. In this world, they are the centre, and everyone else exists in the periphery to either admire or serve them. However, when you, whether intentionally or inadvertently, challenge this inflated sense of superiority, it can feel like a direct assault on their very existence. Even the smallest act of asserting your own opinion, setting a healthy boundary, or simply choosing not to cater to their needs can be seen as an act of rebellion. It can be as simple as expressing an independent thought, making a decision that doesn't align with their expectations, or refusing to feed their need for constant attention. To the narcissist, this isn't just a minor disagreement or an inconvenience. It feels like a devastating blow to their ego. It's not merely a difference of perspective, but rather a threat to their carefully constructed illusion of perfection and power. The narcissist cannot tolerate any disruption to the narrative that they are the best, the most important, or the most deserving of admiration. This is when resentment starts to build, and eventually hatred takes root. What you might see as a simple difference of opinion, a reasonable stance, or a normal action to protect your own well-being is experienced by the narcissist as a personal attack. They feel as though you are denying them their rightful place at the top. For a narcissist, their sense of self is entirely contingent on being seen as the best, the smartest, the most successful, or the most capable person in the room. Any challenge to this self-image is catastrophic, as it shakes the foundation of their entire identity. This is why they can react so intensely to even minor disagreements or moments where their dominance is questioned. The mere existence of someone who doesn't fall into line with their narrative disrupts their illusion, and this disruption feels like an existential threat. The narcissist cannot bear the idea that someone might view them as anything less than exceptional. They need to feel like they are always the standout, the leader, the one who others admire and look up to. If you show that you do not view them in this light, it creates a deep sense of insecurity. This is when their feelings of hatred begin to form. It is not about you as a person. It is about their inability to reconcile with a world that does not constantly reaffirm their greatness. You are merely a catalyst for the profound discomfort they feel when faced with the reality that not everyone worships them. This discomfort quickly transforms into aggression. The narcissist, feeling threatened, will often lash out in an attempt to reassert control over the situation and to re-establish their sense of superiority. This may come in the form of belittling comments, devaluing your thoughts or actions, or outright attempting to destroy your self-esteem. By putting you down, They attempt to prop themselves back up. It's not that they truly dislike you. It's that your existence challenges their deeply held belief in their own perfection. In the end, it's about their need to maintain dominance and control over their environment. They must remain the most important figure, the most admired person, and they cannot tolerate anyone who threatens that position. When you refuse to submit to this narrative, the narcissist views it as a direct challenge to their identity, and in turn begins to direct their anger toward you. Their hate is simply a reflection of their inability to cope with a world that doesn't revolve around their every whim and desire. And so, to protect themselves from the discomfort of being vulnerable,